Marcus Aurelius, the early life of a Stoic emperor. Imagine growing up in one of the greatest cities in history, Rome, where marble statues gaze down upon cobbled streets, and the air is filled with the sound of orators, merchants, and philosophers. Now, imagine being born into a world that expects greatness of you, a world of duty, tradition, and an unyielding quest for wisdom. This is the world that shaped one of history's greatest Stoic philosophers, Marcus Aurelius. The birth of Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius Antoninus was born on April 26, 121 AD in Rome. His family was not just wealthy, but immensely influential. They were part of the Roman elite, connected to the imperial court. His father, Marcus Annius Verus, was a prominent senator, while his mother, Domitia Lucilla, came from one of the wealthiest families in the empire. But Marcus would not have the comfort of a father's guidance for long. His father passed away when he was only a child, leaving Marcus to be raised by his grandfather. From this early loss, Marcus would learn the Stoic lesson that nothing in life is guaranteed, a young philosopher in the making. Despite being surrounded by luxury, Marcus Aurelius showed little interest in the indulgences of Rome's high society. Instead, he was drawn to philosophy from a young age. It was said that he preferred wearing the simple cloak of a philosopher even as a young boy. At just 12 years old, he began to embrace the austere lifestyle of a Stoic, inspired by the writings of Epictetus and the teachings of philosophers around him. Marcus's mother, recognizing his thirst for knowledge, ensured he had the best tutors. He was taught in rhetoric, Greek and Latin, while his philosophical studies focused on ethics and virtue. Even as a boy, Marcus Aurelius was seeking the path to wisdom. The turning point, the adoption by Emperor Hadrian. As a member of a powerful family, Marcus's life was already destined for great things. But his destiny took a sharp turn when he caught the attention of the Roman Emperor Hadrian. The aging Hadrian, without a biological heir, chose Marcus's relative, Antoninus Pius, as his successor. On the condition, however, that Antoninus would adopt Marcus Aurelius as his son and heir. Suddenly, Marcus found himself on the path to becoming emperor. At only 17 years old, he was thrust into the imperial court, surrounded by political intrigue, responsibilities, and expectations. But instead of being consumed by power, Marcus continued to study philosophy, guided by the idea that true leadership is rooted in virtue. The influence of Antoninus Pius. Antoninus Pius, now Marcus's adoptive father, would rule Rome for the next 23 years. Under his mentorship, Marcus learned the art of ruling with patience, compassion, and fairness. Antoninus embodied the Stoic principles that Marcus held dear: duty, integrity, and restraint. While most young men of his age were preoccupied with pleasures, Marcus was deeply focused on self-discipline and wisdom. He was learning what it meant to be a true leader, not just of a vast empire, but of one's own mind. The formative years in the imperial court. Life in the imperial court was not easy. Surrounded by sycophants, rivals, and political schemers, Marcus had to navigate a complex world where loyalty could shift like the winds. Yet throughout it all, he remained grounded in his Stoic beliefs. Marcus's early years were marked by a relentless pursuit of virtue. He would write in his journal, later known as the Meditations, that it is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. For Marcus, living meant embracing wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance, preparing for the future. By the time Marcus Aurelius reached his 20s, he was already known as a philosopher in the making, a leader who understood that the greatest battles are fought within one's own soul. Little did he know that he would face real battles in the years to come, plagues, wars, and betrayals that would test every Stoic principle he held dear. But that's a story for another time. The seeds of greatness had already been sown in his youth, in a mind that constantly sought to align itself with nature and reason. A mind that would go on to become one of the most revered philosopher-kings in history. And so, as we look back at the early life of Marcus Aurelius, we see the making of a man who would not just rule an empire, but rule himself. His journey reminds us that true power is not about control over others, but mastery over oneself. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more insights into history's greatest minds. Until next time, stay curious and stay resilient.